Welcome back to the Titan Talk podcast as we are now on episode 6, diving into week 13 of the NFL season, recapping the events of week 12, with the Tennessee Titans falling just short to the Seattle Seahawks by 6 points this week. I'm Nate and I'm joined by
Luke Carter.
And we're going to dive right into it right now. Starting things off, we're going to recap the Seahawks against the Titans this week. What did you think of it, Luke?
Well, the Titans' first drive was especially promising. They came in the field. They did come up short, but they were able to get a field goal, a couple of third down conversions on there. The Titans really sound play calling. But really, the Titans, the story of the game, in my opinion, Nate, was the Titans could not get the run game going, not whatsoever. This is the second week in a row that Cam Ward has led the team in rushing yards. But nonetheless, Cam Ward looked good. The Titans' offense looked better, especially during that first half. But we knew what we were up against. It was a great Seattle Seahawks team, and they're the best team in football on the road, and they continue to show why.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, on paper, it doesn't look like the Titans belong on the same field as the Seattle Seahawks. But you've seen how Cam Ward played in this game. I think this is his best played game so far this year. That's our first key takeaway. I think Cam Ward outperformed any expectations in this game, going up against a top 5 defense, against a top 5 team. He looked pretty good, and it was promising against 3 practice squad wide receivers, and Van Jefferson and Chim DK was the other 2 they had out there. But I think Cam did as well as he could do in this game.
I absolutely agree. I think statistically and watching the game, this was probably Cam Ward's best performance with the fewest amount of mistakes. He didn't fumble the ball when he was sacked. He was able to successfully navigate through the pocket. And I think we've started to see through the past 2 weeks that Cam Ward plays at his absolute best whenever he's able to get out of the pocket and whenever he's scrambling to keep the defense on their toes. With that being said, you're right. His top 2 targets, that being Calvin Ridley and Alec Manor, they're both out. So he had to find other guys, and he did find other guys. Like you said, DK, Okonkwo, Restrepo. He found the guys who he hadn't usually been targeting and was able to make successful plays with them. I feel like Cam Ward, even the passes that were incomplete that he threw, they were catchable passes, and they weren't in harm's way, which I think is really big for a rookie quarterback who was struggling with turnovers.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just watching this game, I feel like out of all the games the past maybe 3 seasons, I think just watching this game, this was the most excited I have been watching a Tennessee Titans football game in the past 3 years. It just was something fun to watch out there. Cam Ward playing at the best of his ability, looking great out there. And, it was just a very fun game to watch. Well, the second half especially, but first half kind of got going a little bit slow. So
I think the concern here is that, Cam Ward has shown flashes of why he is truly elite. He's shown number 1 pick caliber, why he was the highest rated prospect quarterback in this last draft class. But here's the thing. You don't draft a quarterback to throw to 300 yards and 3 touchdowns every game. You draft a quarterback to win games. The Titans are yet to win games, but even in their losses, Cam Ward has looked good. But the Titans are getting a lot closer, Nate, than what we initially thought. You take a look at the past 3 teams they've played. The Chargers, they covered the spread. The Texans, they covered the spread. 1-score game, lost by a field goal. And now this game against the Seahawks, it came down to an onside kick. The Titans are closer than the national media is giving them credit for. They're still a while away, player-wise, coach-wise. Even Cam Ward is still a while away. But the Titans are a lot closer than what they were through the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I think, just if you asked me a couple weeks ago, I think this team didn't look the greatest on paper and out there on the field. It looked like they had no future ahead of them. But after watching this week's game, it looks like they have a plan, and some of the staples they have in this offense was looking really good this week. Moving into our second key takeaway, it's Xavier Restrepo, in my opinion. I think he showed why he deserved a spot on this 53-man roster. I mean, he had 6 targets, 2 catches for 26 yards. A couple of those targets on his misses wasn't exactly his fault. He had defenders around him everywhere, and especially in that touchdown throw he had, I think it was his first target of the game, he had somebody knock it away outside of his hands. But I think he has shown enough to be a player on this 53-man roster. I think he is better than Mason Kinsey, and I think he deserves that spot over him.
So this is where me and Nate were starting to disagree. And not that I disagree with him on does Restrepo still deserve opportunities? Does he deserve a spot on the roster? I agree with that. Throw him on there. Let's see what he can do the rest of the season. But here is what I will disagree with. I do not think Restrepo had a game worth bragging about. I do not think that – I think Titans fans elevated his stock to something he just couldn't achieve. But now that he's caught 2 of his 6 targets for 26 yards – I think one of which was only because Cam Ward somehow made it a ridiculous throw on the sideline to get him the football in wide open space. But I think we just need to relax as a fan base on Restrepo. The guy did not show that he was going to be the next Randy Moss or Justin Jefferson. He's not that great, all things considered. Yes, he looked good. He looked better than Van Jefferson's looked this whole entire season. He looked better than Mason Kinsey's looked this whole entire season. He looked better than a lot of receivers who the Titans have had over the past 3 years have looked. But all I see on Instagram and stuff is Restrepo this, Restrepo that. And it was like, you know, Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry have just came home and reunited whenever Restrepo finally caught a pass in that stadium. So I think we need to cool down a little bit on the Restrepo hype, but all things considered, it was an impressive game for Restrepo, considering it was his first game in the NFL. And it was an impressive story that he was able to build his way up and make the most of his opportunities to be playing on an NFL field.
Yeah, I think if you just look, he was an undrafted free agent rookie that he got signed and picked up here from the Titans. And if you look at the stats, he is the University of Miami. He's their all-time leading receiver in yards over there. I think, yeah, he's not on the Randy Moss level or Justin Jefferson level, but I do think he has shown and given a reason why he deserves a spot on this roster. I think he was also open on a couple of throws Cam didn't see. I went back and watched some film. There was a play, I think it was in the first quarter, where Cam was getting pressured, and he eventually, I think he connected with Chig on the drag route on the side, on the left-hand side. He threw it to Chig right above him. I don't know if you saw, but I saw Restrepo open. He had 2 guys on him. He had the edge on him, and I don't think Cam saw it, but I think that would have been a 30, 40-yard gain. He was open there, and I just think he has shown and given many reasons why he deserves to be on this roster.
Well, it seems like everyone's talking, Titans fans, national media alike is talking about how good Cam Ward and Restrepo performed. No one's talking about Chimere DK and how great he is. His touchdowns that he's been able to come up with, he's the all-purpose NFL yards leader. And I feel like before we start talking about Restrepo or Cam Ward, we need to really have a deep dive in how good Chimere DK is and how much of a gem that man was in the NFL draft.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he had 2 total touchdowns this week. He had 1 receiving that put the game down to a 6-point lead. He also had that 90-yard punt return touchdown that he took to the house and made a lot of people miss on that run. I think, yeah, I agree. I think he is probably a top 3 player on this team as a rookie. I mean, he has potential, I think, to emerge as one of the top NFL receivers if he continues this road that he's on.
He's already in absolute elite status whenever it comes to punt return, kickoff returns. But I think you've seen that he's also a very good wide receiver. Maybe kind of reminds me of Nate.
Who's that?
Who was also really good at punt kickoff returns and a great wide receiver. Tyreek Hill. I think he's shown a lot of flashes of Tyreek Hill, and I think that is a potential that is honestly meetable for DK. And I'm really excited to see how he continues to develop along with the other rookies that we've been talking about all season long. Of course, that being Cam Ward, A.O. Manor, Gunnar Helm, and the other guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think this rookie class just alone is probably one of the best rookie classes the Titans has had in the past 10 years. I mean, just look at all the players they had. I think you can look at that and pick out maybe 4 or 5 potential starters they drafted this year.
Yeah, I think this is going to be this next draft. Last draft was a great draft for Berganzi. His first one was a really good, solid draft. This is what it's looking like being. But I think when we're looking toward next year's draft night, if we can get Jeremiah Love to come in as running back, because there's no way Tony Pollard's still going to be here. Tajay Spears is going to be here, but at probably a limited capacity. He's a great third down back. But if we can get Jeremiah Love to come to the Titans, maybe I don't know, could he fall to that first pick of the second round? That might be a little stretch right there,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Anything can happen.
I mean, right now, I do want to touch on the run game here a little bit. I think Tony Pollard's time has ran out. I think he is not as good as he once was, especially last season. He struggled to get anything going on the ground this season, and I think he had like 11 total carries for 20 yards in this game. That's not great considering you're a starting running back in this league.
I agree. Tony Pollard has looked pitiful the last couple of weeks, and even going back to the rest of the season, now that I sort of start to remember it, Tony Pollard's only good carries, he's picking up good yardage, is whenever he just has an unbelievable hole in front of him. You saw guys like Henry, you see guys like Taylor, you see other guys who, yeah, their offensive lines were always good, but whenever their offensive line wasn't good, they could still plow ahead 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. That's what separates the okay, the average, from the great. And Tony Pollard is far from great for this football team. And even Tajay Spears, he did not make the most of his carries. Again, he had, 2 or 3 carries and 2 or 3 yards. So even Tajay Spears wasn't doing good. There was just no room to run on this Seattle defense.
I do want to say, I think the Titans should make Tajay Spears the starter going forward the rest of this season. I mean, I think Tajay Spears has played better, and I think he will play better than whatever Tony Pollard could the rest of the season. I also wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of Khalil Mullings going forward, the 6th round or 7th round rookie this year that the Titans drafted. I think he's a great big back they can have, and kind of reminds you of Derrick Henry a little bit with his size.
I mean, it shows you this team has no confidence in any of the running backs. Whenever we're handing it to Julius Chestnut on 4th and 1 to potentially turn the tide of the game, that was just, I don't understand.
And why run up the middle on 4th and 1?
No, I understand that. I understand.
That's what you would go for?
The play call of running it up the middle. I mean, you need 1 yard. If you want to run it, go ahead. But surely, Nate, looking at our roster, there is no way Julius Chestnut is the guy that should be getting that ball on that 4th and 1 call.
Yeah, I agree with that take. I mean, I would rather Khalil Mullings get that carry because, I mean, he's bigger and I think he can run harder and get that yard. But I disagree if that call they had, the run up the middle on 4th and 1, that should have been a quarterback sneak. They learned on that later in that game, and it worked for them. And I think that's what they should do on 4th and 1s or 4th and inches or whatever they do. I think that's almost a guaranteed first down.
If that's what they need, yeah, I agree with you. If they're willing to do a quarterback sneak, that's the time that you should do it. Now, I'm fine if they decide, hey, we don't want to put Cam Ward in trouble. We're not going to do any quarterback sneaks whatsoever this season. I'm okay with that. But whenever you need it on 4th and 1, you're not going to sneak it. But then later down in the game, you're going to sneak it. That's the thing I disagree with. You either got to be consistent in there right there. Use it when you really need it. Don't overuse it, though, because I don't want to get Cam Ward hurt at all.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't know. I just disagree with that call they made there. I think that overall, I think this was a really good played game from the Titans this year. Or not this year, this game, and Cam Ward played great, Chimere DK played great, Xavier Restrepo has played good, and yeah, that's all I have to say about this game.
I absolutely agree. The Titans are still disappointing in the win column-wise, but there is flashes of hope. And I think that's what we wanted to see by the end of the season, was flashes of hope, and I think we're starting to see those. This has been a long home stretch, and hopefully we can get 1 win over the Jags to end up this home stretch.
Yeah, you'll see our thoughts on that here in a little bit coming up on the predictions in this episode. But now we're going to dive into our next segment where we'll be giving our picks of Titan of the Week this week when the Titans played the Seahawks, and we're going to jump over to that. Now jumping back into it, we're going to go into Titan of the Week this week and give you our picks on that. Who do you have here, Luke?
Well, I think for me, it's going to be Chimere DK. I think he is an absolute stud. We talked about him earlier in the podcast, and here he is. His name coming up again. The guy's something else. Take a look at it. So receiving-wise, DK caught 5 of 7 targets for 44 yards and a touchdown. As long as a 25-yard catch and run. which was an absolute phenomenal. But then again, so he had 1 touchdown in the receiving game. Now let's go down here to punt returns. DK, 1 punt return, 90 yards, and a touchdown. So another punt return touchdown for the man, the myth, the legend, DK. Had a couple of kick returns good, too. He had 98 yards kick returning, too. So he had almost, actually, he did have over 200 yards all-purpose. The all-purpose NFL yard leader continues to grow right here. He is my Titan of the week.
That's not a bad pick. I mean, I was debating between him and the pick I eventually went with. I went with quarterback Cam Ward. I think this was his best played game this year. I mean, if you take a look at his stats, he went 28 for 42 on completions, 256 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers, quarterback rating of 75.1. He also was the team's leading rusher with 6 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. I think he's looking like a future Titans franchise quarterback, and he's proven why here.
I absolutely agree. Cam Ward had a fantastic game. I think you're starting to see this guy could be really good. This guy could be a franchise-level caliber quarterback. He started off a little rocky with some turnovers and stuff, but he sort of really started to batten down the hatches after the bye week, and I'm excited to see how this game's going to look against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's going to be a good matchup with the Jaguars. They struggled with the Arizona Cardinals, which was the Titans' only win of the season. I believe that the Cardinals took the Jaguars to overtime this year, and that's what I think on that. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a good matchup. Next, we're going to move into our next segment. We're going to be going into the discussion post of this week, where we asked you on what are you most thankful for about this Tennessee Titans team this year, and we're going to jump into your thoughts and comments right now. Welcome back to the Titan Talk podcast. As now we will be diving into our discussion post on what are you most thankful for about the Tennessee Titans this year. What's your take on that, Luke? What are you most thankful for?
The draft class. I really like the rookies that we got. I like Gunnar Helm, Cam Ward, Aaron Manor, and DK. That's what I'm most thankful for. Defensively, we have some young guys who are starting to look promising and stuff too. Marcus Harris, Winston, some other guys defensively. So that's what I'm most thankful for. I'm most thankful for a competent general manager who had a really good draft class. And I hope he can follow it up with another good draft class and great offseason.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I agree with that, but I'm going to go solely with Cam Ward. He has the highest future ahead of him and the brightest future ahead of him. I mean, if you just look how he played this week, he played amazing. But that's going to be what I'm most thankful for about this current Titans team. Now we're going to dive into your guys' thoughts and comments here. We have Aiden Swisher. He said to be in the running for the first overall pick. That ain't bad.
That is something to be thankful for, but a lot of times I'm weighing too personally what I believe on it. Is it better to get the number 1 overall pick, or is it better to get a couple of wins to really elevate Cam Ward and have something to look forward going into the next season? So I'm just sort of battling back and forth with myself on which one I think is better. But no doubt about it, that is one of the bright sides of having a bad football team is getting that high draft pick.
And it comes with a lot of power, too. I mean, could trade it away or you could keep it and draft a player that you need. Next comment we have here is from One Titans Fan 2024. He said Cam Ward. I agree with you.
Yeah, Cam Ward, I still think that he's the best. I think he's better than Jackson Dart, honestly. I'm excited to see what Shedeur Sanders is going to show, but Cam Ward is looking like the best quarterback in the draft class. I'm excited that we picked him. I'm excited to see what Cam Ward is able to do. He showed unbelievable athleticism. As long as he continues to progress, get his game IQ sorted out, and continue to perform good, he's definitely something to be thankful for.
Yeah. Moving into our next comment, we have Depressed Titans Fan. He said the season will end.
Well, for a 1-10 football team, I guess that is something to be thankful for. Pick and choose what you want. Personally, me, I disagree with that. I love football. I don't care how bad the Titans are. I can sit there and I can watch the Carolina Panthers take on the New Orleans Saints in a 17-5 matchup every single week.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching football regardless of how bad we look, even though we're probably one of the worst football teams in history to go out there. But it's just a thrill to watch out there and see your favorite team play. Next, we have cberry_5. He said, it's a very underrated take. He said Peter Skoronski.
Yeah, Peter Skoronski's looked a lot good. I think Peter Skoronski's sort of overshadowed by how rocky J.C. Latham's NFL career has been so far. But undoubtedly, yeah, that was a great pick. Peter Skoronski has been holding the fort down ever since he moved to that left guard position, which he is natural at. He's been absolutely phenomenal. He's just a lockdown guard. He really is. He's a weapon on the football field. And I feel like the Titans need to use him more as that weapon on the football field. But that's an absolutely great point. Peter Skoronski has been absolutely phenomenal for the Titans. A bright spot in a dark place.
Yeah, I agree. Moving into our next comment, we have Tennessee Tough _615. He said, nothing.
I disagree. I think there is some things that to look and say, this team's got some foundation built to it. Peter Skoronski, Cam Ward, Gunnar Helm,
Xavier
DK
Restrepo.
Restrepo. Talk more about that. But the foundation is starting to be built for this team. And I think that's exactly what you want in a rebuild. Has it taken us a little longer to get this rebuild started? Yeah, it has, but it started to kick off. We're getting a new stadium. We've got what I believe to be a competent general manager. The Titans are starting to become a team that I think a lot of coaches would want to come here and coach. Besides the Amy Adams Trump quick to pull the trigger thing. That might deter some coaches, but I think nonetheless, the Titans are a good-looking spot for a coach to come land at this next season.
I agree. I think it's probably one of the top choices out there. I think arguably the best spot to land if you're looking to be a head coach. I think it's better than the Giants and any of the college football coaches the college football coaching jobs that are open. Next we have, hold on. I accidentally just hid somebody's comment.
Nate doesn't like your comments, guys. There's probably some Xavier Restrepo hate that Nate hit on that one right there.
All right. No, it was the Titans rundown. He said that I get to cover this year's head coaching search. That ain't bad.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. I mean, Nate were just talking about before this segment of who we want to be the head coach. There's so many names that I think the Titans are in the running for. Mike McCarthy, Arthur Smith, John Gruden. I really like Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator, the Bills offensive coordinator. Nate was talking about Cliff Kingsbury. There's so many great guys who are just sort of rotating around the atmosphere, waiting to get their next job. But I think the Titans are going to have the cream of the crop, whoever they want to pick.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of options to go for. I think it's just a matter if you have that right choice there. Next comment, we have Dale Moore 007. He said, Big Jeff is back to looking like an all-pro. I agree. He's been looking phenomenal ever since he returned from injury.
I don't know if there's a guy that means more to a team than what Jeffrey Simmons means to the Tennessee Titans. You know, you can argue that Miles Garrett, the Browns, this, that, and the other. There's definitely better players than Jeff Simmons in the league. But to mean as much as Jeff Simmons means to the Tennessee Titans and Nashville as a whole, I don't know if there's a guy that can really compete with him. He is just an absolute phenomenal guy. Look at how bad the defense struggled without him. When he's here and he's playing, he brings the energy, brings the leadership, and he brings the play.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's that veteran presence that this team desperately needs, I think. Next comment, we have Emerald Evan 11. He said the Titans finally gave Xavier Restrepo the shot that he deserves, and hopefully they will keep him activated. I agree. I mean, I think Xavier Restrepo is highly underrated. I think he could be a solid wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 on this team going forward. I think he has shown potential that he had this week, and if they give him a shot next week, I think he will surprise some people against a really good Jaguars secondary.
Look, I don't want Nate to put a thing over my head that says Restrepo hater, but I disagree fully. Xavier Restrepo is not underrated. Xavier Restrepo is overrated. It's not his fault. It's everyone else who's just been clamoring and claiming for him to come to this roster to guide us to the promised land. Restrepo's not taking us to the promised land. Restrepo's not taking us to a 100-yard game. Restrepo is not this problem solver that people are looking at him to be. They're put unreasonable expectations on that man's name, and the only option for him is to fail at the expectations that people put upon his name. So, no, I disagree with that. Restrepo is overrated, not underrated. And, yes, I want to keep him on the 53-man roster. I want to see what he can do. I want to watch Restrepo over Van Jefferson because Restrepo has that small chance of being good. But to already say that he's good, to already say he's a wide receiver 2 kind of guy, come on. Let's be real.
No, I think he does have potential to be that established star as wide receiver 2 or 3 going forward. I mean, as he progresses, he's only going to get better. I don't think he could get worse. I mean, for crying out loud, he's the receiving yards leader in Miami in history.
Yeah, man, he had 2 catches for 26 yards. I don't think there's much more you can get worse from there. So, yeah, I'll agree with you on that part. Restrepo's not going to go downhill from what he is right now. But you said a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. What team do you think he is better than a wide receiver 2 on right now?
The Saints, the Browns, there's plenty. I think he is a really good wide receiver.
I would take Vele over Restrepo. The Browns, I would take Tillman over Restrepo.
I disagree there. I mean, I don't think I almost said Cam Ward. I don't think that Xavier Restrepo has been given the chances that he needs. I think with more opportunities, he will show what he's able to do. And I think we'll be looking back on this as I think he's kind of like a Nick Westbrook-Akine style player.
I think Nick Westbrook-Akine is worlds better.
He's better now, but I mean, going forward, I think he has better.
This coaching staff is incompetent. I'll give you that. They are incompetent in their decision making. But still, I don't think you can be incompetent. He was on the practice squad. He would not be playing right now, Nate, had the Titans not been decimated by wide receiver injuries. And whenever he did come in and play, he had, 6 targets? Caught 2 of them. One of them was all he had to do was stick his hands out because Cam Ward made an unbelievable pass on the sideline. Restrepo is not this world saver that people keep pretending like. Restrepo, he's not a top 3 wide receiver on the Tennessee Titans. I don't know that he's a top 3 wide receiver on any team. I think we just need to relax, Nate. This is crazy. The Restrepo hype is getting out of hand.
Yeah, we'll see. Who's right on that take here in a couple weeks after hopefully he's given more chances. But now we're going to dive into our predictions this week going into Week 13, and we're going to start off with the Thanksgiving games, then the Black Friday game, and then go into the Sunday slate. Now, moving into our predictions for Week 13 going into this week, we have Thanksgiving games this Thursday, a Black Friday game this Friday, and then we have our regular Sunday slate. So moving into our first Thursday games of the Thanksgiving games, we have the 7-3-1 Green Bay Packers traveling to Detroit to take on the 7-4 Detroit Lions. Who do you have here, Evan?
I have the Lions coming out with a decent victory over the Packers. I don't see the Packers really defending Gibbs and that crazy offense that they've been playing lately.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I think the Lions get the win here. I think the Packers, they have kind of looked a little bit disappointing as of late. I mean, they struggled didn't really struggle this week. They struggled the week before last and the week before that. And I think the Lions get back, or show why and get back on track here for a pretty comfortable win.
Not so fast here, guys. There's no tradition like on any other of the Detroit Lions losing on Thanksgiving. I think the Lions are going to lose on Thanksgiving again this year. Give me the Packers.
It's possible, but I don't know about that. Moving into our next game, we have the 6-5 Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Dallas to take on the 5-1 Dallas Cowboys.
I have the Chiefs coming out with a slight victory on this one. I think that there's nothing sadder than a Cowboys fan until I met a Titans fan, so I have the Chiefs coming out on top.
I'm going to agree. I think it'll be a really close game, though. I think Dallas coming off of a rally win after being down 21-0 against the Philadelphia Eagles and coming back to get the win. And but yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get a win here.
What a fun Thanksgiving Day matchup. But I'm going to agree with both of you. I think this is a game that the Chiefs have to win, that they're going to win. Give me the Kansas City.
Yeah, now we're going to move into the Thanksgiving night game. We have the 3-8 Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the 6-5 Baltimore Ravens.
I have the Bengals finally coming back after their quarterback is going to be back, and the Ravens are going to choke like normal because they just haven't been utilizing Derrick Henry lately except for 1 or 2 games this season, and it's sad because anytime they do, then they do great, but anytime that they don't, they pull a Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I have the Bengals getting a win here. If Joe Burrow coming back for his first game since week 2, I think the Bengals will look strong, and I think the Bengals have a chance to get back atop of that AFC North division.
Baltimore at home, their first game having a winning record this season against the Bengals. Joe Flacco's not performed bad. I don't know that Joe Burrow's going to be that much of an improvement in his first game back. Obviously, in 3 or 4 weeks maybe, but I don't know if he's going to be 100% healthy come this game back because he's sort of rushed his comeback. Give me the Ravens to secure the flock and hold the AFC North down. Give me the Baltimore Ravens to win on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, moving into the next game, we have a Black Friday game. We have the 8-3 Chicago Bears traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles, the 8-3 Philadelphia Eagles.
I have the Eagles winning this game. I think that they are going to come out slightly on top, but I feel like this is going to be a really sad and kind of slow game.
I agree. I think it's going to be slow, but I'm going to go with the upset. I think the Chicago Bears moved to 9-3 on the year. I think Caleb Williams has been playing some pretty good football, and Roma Dunze's been looking good, and I think the Bears will keep things rolling.
You know, I thought Caleb Williams was going to have his first big test of the season against Pittsburgh last week, but Aaron Rodgers didn't end up playing. So I think this is his first big test of the season. I think he's going to fail. Give me Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think it's possible the Eagles win, but yeah. Moving into the next game, we have the 7-4 as of now San Francisco 49ers traveling to the 3-8 Shedeur Sanders-led Cleveland Browns. Who do you have here?
I have the 49ers coming out on top. Shedeur has not been performing well, like, at all. He's been performing worse than Cam Ward on many statistics. And even though Cam Ward has more opportunities so far this season, he's just looking like a way better prospect. And I think that Shedeur, he hasn't been showing any kind of, like, high-end talent or anything, in my opinion. And I think that McCaffrey is going to run all over them.
Yeah, I agree. I have the 49ers getting a really comfortable win here. Shedeur is not as great as everybody thinks. I know he gets all the praise and everything on ESPN, on every news platform, on Instagram, and seen something the other day saying that Shedeur Sanders has tied Cam Ward in wins this season. I mean, yeah, he has. But if you look at their numbers side by side, Cam Ward has obviously played better this week and in previous weeks as well. I think almost any performance Cam Ward has had this year outweighs whatever Shedeur Sanders did last week and will do this week. But, yeah, I'm going to think the 49ers going to win.
I hate this narrative that you're either on Cam Ward's side or you're on Shedeur Sanders' side. Both quarterbacks can be good. I think both quarterbacks will be good. I disagree with you guys. I do not think it's going to be a blowout. I do think the 49ers will win, but give me Shedeur to have a good game and the Browns to cover the spread. But Niners win.
Yeah. Moving into the next game, you have an AFC South divisional matchup. We have the 6-5 Houston Texans traveling to the 8-3 Indianapolis Colts.
I have the Colts coming out on this one. I don't understand the Colts and how they're having this crazy season. Daniel Jones is looking like a whole other person than he did last year, and I feel like they're going to come out on top and beat the Texans.
I'm going to disagree. I got the Texans here. I think the Texans' defense is the best in the NFL, statistically wise as well. I think the Texans will be good here, and I don't know if C.J. Stroud will be back, but either way, I think the Texans get a win here.
I'm with you, Nate. That's a great pick right there, and I'm going to agree with you. I think the Texans are going to get the win. They're going to keep their hot streak going. C.J. Stroud, hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah, moving into our next game, we have the 2-9 New Orleans Saints traveling to the 4-7 Miami Dolphins. Who do you have here, Evan?
I have the Dolphins slightly coming out. I think this will be a really slow game. It is the second worst team versus probably another bottom 5 team, in my opinion. They still won't have Tyreek Hill back because he had a season-ending injury. And their only good player on their team that I can think of is A-Chain. And he has been going off, but besides that, they don't have any really crazy playmakers, but I think they can still beat the Saints.
I agree. I got the Dolphins winning here. I mean, I really hope the Saints get a win so the Titans can get a comfortable win and still be in the number one pick, but I just don't see Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shue or whatever his name is getting a win over the Miami Dolphins. I think the Dolphins improved at 5-7.
Saints will not win this game. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, moving into the next game, we have the 4-7 Atlanta Falcons traveling to New York to take on the 2-9 New York Jets.
At least you finally got it right one week, Nate. I think that the Falcons are going to come out on top. On paper, they're an amazing team. But in reality, they've been performing pretty poorly. They did come off of this last week winning, and I think they can keep it going against the Jets.
I'm going to agree. I got the Falcons winning here. I mean, I hope the Jets win because I want the Titans to get a comfortable win that they can have. But it's possible, but I just don't see Tyrod Taylor getting a win over the Atlanta defense, and I think the Falcons will improve to 5-7 as well.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than what you guys are giving the credit for. The Jets have got a good defense, and their offense is not too far off. But I once again agree with you. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, moving into our next game, we have the 9-2 Los Angeles Rams traveling to the, as of now, 6-5 Carolina Panthers.
I have the Rams coming out on top. I don't think that the Panthers are going to be able to keep up at all with the Rams, and Nakua is going to have a crazy game this game.
I agree. I got the Rams here. I think it'll be close. I think the Panthers will be competing with them in this game, but I think the Rams get a comfortable win here.
No one blinked, but the Rams are the best team in the National Football League, and Matthew Stafford's a front runner for the MVP. Give me the Rams.
Yeah. Moving into our next game, we have the 3-8 Arizona Cardinals traveling to the 6-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I have the Buccaneers winning this one and keeping the top of their division, and I could see them possibly blowing out the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think this will be a get-right game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think Baker Mayfield will get back on track if he's able to go. I know he got injured this week, but I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will blow away the Arizona Cardinals.
I think this game is completely dependent on Baker Mayfield. If it's Teddy Bridgewater, which it could very well be, I don't know if the Buccaneers have a chance of winning this game. Give me the Arizona Cardinals because I do not think Baker Mayfield will play.
That's a take. Moving into the next game, we have 9 and the 4-7 Minnesota Vikings. We have 9 and the 4-7 Minnesota Vikings traveling to the 8-3 Seattle Seahawks.
I have the Seahawks coming out slightly on top on this one. They've had a really good season so far, and I think that their defense is going to hold off Justin Jefferson pretty well.
I think Justin Jefferson just held off by himself. J.J. McCarthy has been struggling to get anything going as 9 has came out and whatever that's all called. But I think the Seahawks get a really comfortable win here.
I agree with everything Nate said. Nate, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted
Top
you
5 team.
whenever you
Top
said the
5
Seahawks were a
team.
top 5 team. Seahawks look great. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah. Moving into the next game, we have probably another blowout game. We have the 2-9 Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the 7-4 Los Angeles Chargers.
I have the Chargers just blowing out the Raiders this week.
Yeah, Raiders has not looked good the past couple of weeks. I just got the Chargers getting a win here.
Chargers a lot too little.
Moving into the next game, we finally have a competitive game. We have the 7-4 Buffalo Bills traveling to the 6-5 Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think it's going to be a little bit of an upset. I could see the Steelers possibly coming on top of the Bills, and Josh Allen just isn't performing how he did last year, and I see the Steelers winning this week.
I'm going to disagree. I think this will be a get-right game for the Bills, and I think they get back on track and get a win here.
Bills are coming off of a mini bye week. You know, they didn't play. They played Thursday, so they're getting from Thursday to the next Sunday. So a lot of time for Josh Allen and company to rest and recuperate. I agree with Nate. Get-right game. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, moving into Sunday Night Football, really good game. We have next game, we have Sunday Night Football. We have the 9-2 Denver Broncos traveling to the 3-8 Washington Commanders.
I have the Broncos winning this one. I think this is going to be a really good game, but I just see them coming out on top of the Jaden Daniels and his Commanders that have had a crazy turnaround from last year being a competitive team to this year. I don't know what happened, but they had just fallen apart, and I think they fell off hard.
Yeah, I think with Jaden Daniels, he's been out like the past 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm not sure if he is back this week or not, but regardless, I think the Broncos will get a win here and improve to 10-2 on the year.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is not coming back this week. Broncos have a great pass rush, great defense. Still underrated, though. Honestly, it could be one of the best in league history. The Broncos keep piling up wins against bad teams. Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, moving into on Monday Night Football, we have the first game in December. On December 1st, we have the 2-10 New York Giants traveling to the 10-2 New England Patriots.
I have the Patriots coming out on top just like normal. I think that Drake May is on a hot streak, and I could see them just steamrolling the Giants without their Scatterboo and Dart combo. I think they're going to fall apart really quick.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter if Jackson Dart comes back in this game. I think the Patriots get a big win here.
All right, listen, guys. Patriots next 2 games after this. Bills-Ravens. I feel like Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots are going to look forward to those 2 games, the Bills and the Ravens, who are after the Giants. And I feel like they're going to get caught in a classical trap game, whether it's Jameis Winston or Jackson Dart. I think this is just a trap game and a half. I still think the Patriots are a good team. I still think Drake May is a good quarterback, but I just think they might fall victim to the trap game. Give me the New York Giants on Monday Night Football.
Not a bad take, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that on next Monday. But next, we have the final game we're doing our predictions on. We have the 7-4 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Nashville to take on the 1-10 Tennessee Titans.
I'm going to assume the best case scenario for the Titans, that they do keep Restrepo around. And if they do, I could see them coming out with a decent game against the Jags. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they're going to slightly come ahead. If they can get that chemistry between Ward and Restrepo down, then I think that is going to be the way that they turn everything around, possibly, with Restrepo being a record holder in Miami. I think that if he can get those numbers back and he can keep it up, that they're going to possibly ruin their number 1 draft pick, which would be the biggest Titans thing to do.
Yeah, what was your score prediction for this game?
For this game, I'm going to say like 13-10 Titans coming out on top.
Yeah, I agree. I have the Titans winning here, which is surprising for anybody to think the Titans win this game. But I think Cam Ward will continue his hot streak he's been on as of late, looking pretty good. And I think Trevor Lawrence will fumble this game away for Jacksonville. And I think the Titans will take advantage of that. And I think the Titans will live another week in the league and not be eliminated this week. But I think it is coming soon. But I think the Titans get a win here and go to 2-10.
All right.
And their score prediction. I think Titans win, I say 24-21.
All right. Look, enough of the Restrepo hype, guys. Come on. Come to your senses. I agree with you, Nate. Trevor Lawrence is not good. He's the most overrated quarterback in the league. Trevor Lawrence is not going to come out here and hang 50 on Tennessee Titans. No chance. But Trevor Lawrence is bad. So are the Tennessee Titans, and so is Xavier Restrepo. I do think the Titans will keep this game competitive, but I do not think the Tennessee Titans will win this game. Give me 23-17 Jaguars.
That's not a bad take. I mean, if you look at the stats, Cam Ward has played better than Trevor Lawrence this year. Numbers might not be showing that, but I think overall Cam Ward has played way better than Trevor Lawrence this season. I think Cam Ward has played better than a lot of teams this season, and I think he will prove that this week. And next week, they play the Cleveland Browns and possibly Shadur Sanders, hopefully, where we can silence the doubters of people saying that we should have drafted Shadur Sanders with the first pick. all those ESPN analysts like Mel Kiper, whenever Cam Ward got selected, well, that's such a mistake not taking Shadur Sanders. I mean, dude, you've seen college film. You've seen what's happened these first 13 weeks. Cam Ward is way better than Shadur Sanders, but yeah, that's my opinions on that. And now we're going to dive into our preview of Titans and Jaguars this week. We're going to go a deep dive into the game and more thoughts on that coming now. Now we're going to dive into previewing the Titans and Jaguars game this week as the Jaguars come to town to Nashville for the team's first matchup between the two. Jaguars coming off of a scary loss to the Cardinals in overtime, who is the only Titans win of the season. The Titans coming off a very impressive effort, falling by 6 points against the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, the Jags did win that game, though. So part of me feels like you can't really penalize them for winning a game in the National Football League. They were able to win that game. The Jacksonville Jaguars right now are in the playoffs. They beat Kansas City. They have a tiebreaker over Kansas City. They're in the wild card round. But, man, this team is vulnerable on so many fronts. I think it starts with the quarterback, Nate.
Mm-hmm. I think Trevor Lawrence is overrated. I think he's the most overrated player in the NFL. If you take a look at his stats this week against the Arizona Cardinals, he had 30 passing attempts, 18 of those which were completed. He had 256 yards, the same amount of yards Cam Ward had, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 1 fumble that ended up being lost, and a quarterback rating of 38.4.
That one's rough right there. He had 51 yards at the halftime, and really Travis Etienne was one of the main reasons the Jacksonville Jaguars were able to stay in that game during the first half. But yeah, Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals came within an inch's length of sort of ruining the Jacksonville Jaguars season. And with these teams like the Texans winning, they're right on the Jags trail. Teams like the Chiefs are winning, they're right on the Jags tail. Teams like the Ravens, all these teams that are starting to pile up these wins and getting things going and starting to become hot going to the next level of the season. The Jacksonville Jaguars are vulnerable. And I feel like every win, every game for the Jacksonville Jaguars, probably from here out, is an absolute must-win if they want to continue to control their own destiny.
I agree. I think this game means a lot for the Jaguars going forward. And hopping over to the Titans side of things, if the Titans lose this game, they will officially be eliminated from the NFL playoffs. That's something there. I mean, they're obviously not going to make it, but it's just officially official if they ended up losing. But we have here the Titans stats. Cam Ward had 42 attempts, 28 of those were completed, 256 yards, 6.1 yards average per throw, 1 touchdown. He had taken 4 sacks and a quarterback rating of 75.1.
Yeah, this is also going to be the Titans' easiest opponent of their last 4 games, Nate. They're coming off of probably Cam Ward's best performance, DK 2 touchdown performance. We might get A.O. Manor back. We might be becoming healthier. Since the Titans are going into this next game, this Thanksgiving week, a lot of more eyes are going to be on the Titans this week with a lot of the better teams playing on Thursday and Friday. So there's going to be more eyes than usual on Cam Ward and on the Tennessee Titans this week. It's an AFC South divisional rival. And we always know how those AFC South games can go. Both teams know each other so well that it can always be really, really close. I think it is going to be close, Nate. That's why I'm going to pick the Titans to cover the spread the 4th week in a row.
I disagree with that. I mean, I don't think the Jaguars are the easiest opponent they have left. I mean, they have teams like the Browns who they play next week after the Jags, and they have the Saints.
Oh, no, I was saying the easiest opponent out of the last 4.
Oh, last 4. I thought you meant going forward. Yeah, I agree. I mean, but the Titans do have some winnable games coming forward, and I do think the Titans will end up winning this game. I think they have a good chance at winning this, and that's what I think on that. And also, we also want to talk about Xavier Restrepo for a second. I think he should get a chance here. He needs to get a chance here to see what he can do against a good Jaguars secondary, and I think he will prove some people wrong on his play style going forward, and that's what That's what I think on that.
I won't continue to batter the dead horse. You obviously know my opinions on the Restrepo thing, but what's your score prediction tonight? You think the Titans win?
Score prediction? I'm going to go with the Titans winning. I think we get a win. I'm going to say, based off of what I've seen, I think 24-21.
All right.
I think it'll be a field goal game, like you said. I think it'll be a close game. I think Trevor Lawrence will fumble this game away for the Jaguars, and Titans will take advantage of that with Jeffrey Simmons getting to him. And I think Evan Winston will play a really good game this week.
It's going to be a little cold, too, this week, Nate. Probably the first cold game
That's
the
true,
Titans
yeah.
or the Jags have had to play this year.
But I do think the Titans will get their first win of the season in the series between them two. And I think the Titans move to 2-10. We're going to wait and see on that on Sunday. And we just want to thank you all for watching this episode of episode 6 of the Titan Talk podcast. You'll catch us here next week for where we'll be breaking down the Jaguars game and going forward with that. As we go into Titans-Browns next week, hopefully we see Cam Ward against Shadur Sanders when we can finally get the point across that Cam Ward is the better quarterback than Shadur Sanders.
Yes, sir. Hope to see you next week, guys.
See y'all next week.